And a very warm afternoon to you for the 118th New Zealand National Boxing Championships brought to you from Te Rauparaha Arena in Parirua City, just north of Wellington. My name is Brent Perry, and beside me, my co-anchor is Isaac Savage. Isaac, we're in for another massive day.
Well, Brent, without a doubt, future world champions are forged in these tournaments, and we've got over 25 fights ahead of today. I'm looking forward to seeing the best of the best here in New Zealand.
And of course, we have already had 31 bouts. We've got 26 today, so first session starting in a few minutes. And of course, we have another group again starting again at 5 o'clock tonight. And you're watching it all on Sky Sport next. We're going to head down and get the action straight underway. Head down to our ring announcer, Vinny, the man with the deep voice, and he's going to call our first bout in. And of course, some of these boxers are backing up.
Boxers and officials to ringside, please.
They're backing up real hard. I mean, the first fight we've got today is up against a young fella called Jett Varcoe. Now, he actually boxed yesterday at the same time, so these guys
he
have
sure
got to
did.
be fit.
Coming in against Bobby Brown yesterday by unanimous decision. A big ask, you know. Sometimes they're fighting twice in a day or the next day, and here he comes now to the ring. Big performance yesterday for Jett Varcoe. He did amazingly well against Bobby Brown and got away with that unanimous decision. And
as we say, it's thick and fast today, so we've got, as I say, the first two bouts are only going to be 1.5 minutes each because of the, the juniors.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a semi-final bout contested in the cadet male 44 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Manawatu Boxing Association, William Minchin.
As I say, some of these boxers are...
And in the blue corner, representing Hawke's Bay Boxing Association, Jett Varcoe.
So both boxers, of course, being welcomed to the ring, getting their last little instructions from both their corner and, of course, the referee.
Sunita Lalu.
Also important to mention, William Minchin is a 2020 North Island Golden Glove champ against Jett Varcoe, who is a 2019 North Island Golden Glove champ. So we've got a bit of the best here with these two Golden Glove champs and 1.5 minute rounds. Let's see who's going to go straight through to the final.
And of course, they're both around 5 foot tall, and it's action from the moment that bell goes.
As soon as that bell goes, they're straight into it. Varcoe there in the blue, William Minchin there in the red.
He boxed really well yesterday.
He sure did, and let's see how he goes today. He's coming forward quite aggressively now.
I suppose when you're young, you can bounce back.
Exactly, and he's got gas for weeks. I mean, he'll be trying to sort of stamp his mark quite early in this fight, potentially wanting to save gas for that later on fight if he is to proceed through to the final.
Jett comes out of the Hastings Giants Boxing Academy. And William is Kiwi Boxing Club in Manawatu.
Both boys feeling each other out still. Jett Varcoe definitely coming forward aggressively.
A couple of nice scoring headshots there. He's able to get that jab working really well and nice and early too.
Step in jab, like you said, and then throws right over, landing quite flush there on the guard and headgear of William Minchin.
Now, if you're just tuning in for the first time with Sky Sport Next, I hope you're going to enjoy the coverage. We've got a massive day of boxing and, of course, right through into the evening.
Both boys still filling each other out. These are short rounds, so we're getting close to the clapper now, just before the 10-second bell. Both boys been very busy, considering Jett did fight yesterday, and Williams has come in relatively fresh, still holding his own. Both boys are Golden Glove champs.
And we've talked about it over the previous days as well. And the main thing that we notice, Isaac, is the sportsmanship. 1, 2, how the sport is incredibly safe in the sense of what is happening. Those referees are not just sort of controlling what's going on in the ring, but they're looking for any potential problems that a boxer may be having. And they'll step in real quick.
100%. I mean, there's a huge difference between the amateur and the pros, and if there is someone taking over quite early or there are a few knockdowns, or at 3 at max, they will stop it for the health and safety of the fighter. Yeah, so just explaining that, if the referee feels that there's a standing 8, they're only allowed 3 in the one round, and then the referee will stop the bout immediately. There's no mucking around. Seconds out.
Seconds out, round 2.
So important to note, whoever gets this fight goes through the W, goes through to the final. So both boys will be thrown down. We're going to see the best of the best. Sometimes they say even the best fights, in the lead up to the finals because they're trying to get through to the final. So let's see how they go now. Jett Varcoe there in the blue with William Minchin there in the red. Just standing and banging straight in the middle there. Not really feeling out in this start of the round, are they, Brent?
No, they don't. Starting off what they did yesterday. I mean, as I say, Jett Varcoe was in the ring at 1 o'clock yesterday, and he's back in it again at almost identical time. So I think Craig McDougall, who of course is one of his trainers, has looked after him really well for the last 24 hours. Nice
little feint there with the right hand. Loving the skill that I'm seeing here from Varcoe. Considering their age and their weight, they're very highly skilled, and it's going to, whoever takes it on or goes through to the final certainly deserves it.
Yeah, well, William is actually trained by his father, Dean, as I say, out of the Kiwi Boxing Club in the Manawatu. As you say, the boys are just feeling it.
Start off pretty hot and heavy as they go into the latter part of the round. The foot's sort of coming off the gas, but Jett Varcoe continues to push forward and challenge William Minchin there in the red. Quick rounds too. I mean, we're almost at the clapper again. This is what it's like when the action's hard and fast and they're only 1.5.
So we've got a couple of these guys at that, and then the rest of the morning's program, or this afternoon's program, as we go through the bantam and the light welters at the likes. They'll be 3-minute rounds.
Another good round. Jett Varcoe certainly bringing the heat. He's putting the pressure on William, and he has from the onset. Certainly aggressive, young, punchy, but technical fighter. I'm liking what I see here from Jett.
Yeah, well, he's had 18 bouts, so and comparing that to young William, who's basically 9, but he is the Golden Gloves Championship for the under 44 kg. So a little bit more experience with Jett, I think, just...
In saying that, though, we did see some stats yesterday where someone was heavily outweighed by the experience, and the other guy came through. So it's good to see the stats, but at times they can be a little bit off-putting.
Yeah. Now, you may see that we've had this question asked of us. Why is it called the 2020 Nationals? Well, in fact, there's actually going to be 2 national championships this year.
Seconds out, round 3.
Because of COVID, we've had to delay this event into 2021. So we're not actually getting it wrong.
No, I've had a lot of calls and questions. Isaac, it's 2020. That was last year in 21, but hey, I've just said, look, you get 2, so be grateful. You're lucky.
The next Nationals are, well, I remember, are going to be held in Whanganui. Date yet to be fully confirmed, but it is Whanganui.
Now we go into the third and final. Both boys, once again, I'm loving how they start off each round. Super aggressive, really wanting to win this, really wanting to get through to the final. Jett certainly taking this to William there in the red.
And you can see our referees looking very, very closely at this one at the moment, with Jett Varcoe getting into Minchin really hard.
Look at him, he just launches in there with the straight right body shots, uppercuts. He's throwing everything at young William, but William's still standing in there. He's still giving a bit of flack back.
Yeah, Jett Varcoe is actually trying to hold the centre of the ring and keeping William sort of pushed back towards the ropes, but at this point, I'm probably leaning a little more to Jett Varcoe. One being the aggressor, and he has been scoring some really nice shots.
He's just been walking William down this entire fight, and whether that's a style or he's been able to see a gap, an opportunity to take this turn, gets him against the ropes, 10 seconds to go. This has been a brilliant display from Jett.
That was a bit of a haymaker for both of the boys, actually.
William throwing a few of his own now. Has got Jett in the corner and starting to dish out as that final clapper goes.
And that's the bit, I keep saying it and I'm going to keep doing it. It's so cool with these young guys who are both respectful to their opposition but also to themselves. They'll go at the back, probably get their gear off and turn around and say, should we go and get a Coke?
Yeah, I was wondering what you're going to say there, a cup of tea or a Sprite. When they get a bit older, they tend to have a cold one, but these boys will shake hands. They've gone through a war with each other and they'll come out of it better off.
Yeah, well, and when I was talking with Steve Hartley, of course, president of New Zealand Boxing, he said you fight a guy and you're friends for life.
100% agree on that one. Not too far away now for the judge's decision on who will be proceeding forward through to the final.
while we're waiting for this, I just have to huge compliments to the organising committee, the Wellington Hutt Valley Boxing Association, who are hosting this event here in Porirua. They've done a wonderful job.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, representing Hawke's Bay Boxing, Jett Varcoe.
Well deserved. He goes through to the finals.
Yeah, well, he looked right from the outset that he was going to be taking this on. He knew that, you know, I've only got 3 rounds to do this. Again.
We just talked about the sportsmanship. Lets the guy out the ring. What a gent.
Boxing doesn't just teach them discipline as far as, you know, getting up, doing the training, doing the hard yards, but also, as I say, the way in which they treat each other, respectful.
Oh, it's great to see, you know, lifting the ropes for his opponent and the way William was.
And this is what they're playing for, of course. These are the trophies that are going to be handed out tomorrow.
Look at all that bling. There's a lot of history there. Looking forward to seeing who gets those trophies and shields tomorrow.
Oh, I know, it's great. As you say, you leave nothing behind in that dressing room. You've got to come out there and put it all together. Let's go down to Vinny.
Semi-final bout contested in the cadet male 44 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Gergiy Bitiev. And in the blue corner, representing Manawatu Boxing Association, Zeb Ormsby.
Both these boys weighing in, of course, at 44.
Your referee is John Ensor.
Now, Zeb is actually a southpaw, and Gergiy is an orthodox boxer. So if he's had the chance to spar with somebody who is a southpaw, this could actually be quite a good matchup for our second bout of the day here at the 2020 Championships, New Zealand Boxing.
Gergiy there in the red, and as you said, Zeb there in the blue. Always love seeing a southpaw and orthodox. More so to see how the orthodox counters the southpaw. Some can deal with it, some can't. We saw a fight yesterday, I think it was Taufa, very wild style, and a southpaw who is also fighting again today.
Gergiy is out of the Henry Schuster Boxing, and Zeb is with the snapback gym in the Manawatu.
Gergiy there in the red, Zeb the southpaw. So let's see how the southpaw and orthodox fighter go at it. But before we can actually even see which stance is what, these boys are just going off. I mean, it doesn't even matter if they counter or walk towards or avoid those shots. They're just standing and banging around in the middle of the ring.
They put their Energizer batteries into their belts this morning.
Yeah, they certainly had their Weet-Bix as that bell rang. They were right to the centre. These are 1.5 minute rounds. 1 minute to go. This round is certainly going to fly by.
Yeah, there was a nice body shot from Zeb. But Gergiy didn't actually move at all. He just stood there. Here we go, and he says, bring it on.
So they've put the foot to the gas. They're having a bit of a rest now, but what a flurry of punches that was. They started off very aggressively with 30 to go now.
You watch for Gergiy, his right shot, his right arm, he's keeping that shoulder up with his stance, so he's able to just sort of get ready to load it.
Zeb just missing there with the looping right hand. Remember, he's southpaw, so he will be jabbing every single time with the right. Beautiful follow-up there from Zeb.
Yeah, and as you say, Gergiy, you watch that right shoulder. He's just lifting it up just to protect, sort of cut down that space.
He certainly is, but Zeb's not making it easy for him as he comes forward now and landed a beautiful body shot just underneath as the bell went.
We hope you're enjoying the coverage here with Sky Sport. Next, I'll tell you what we did find out this morning. Of course, we think that it's just people in New Zealand watching it, across the ditch maybe, but we are going to bit of a call out to the Tibor Consensus. He's the public relations for the Asia Boxing, and he's all the way in Hungary.
Oh, look, see, this is going worldwide. There's people watching from all around the world, and thanks to the doc in Hungary, big shout out to you.
And we're fortunate enough, of course, with this horrid COVID that's been going around, that there's not a lot of live sport. So Sky Sport Next coming in, providing the coverage. And a big shout out to our film guys, our actual camera guys, who are all over the place.
Seconds out, round
Fantastic job. Thanks to Benji Watt, the stat man. Appreciate all the information you're sending through as we get ready now for round 2. Zeb there in the blue, the southpaw. Gergiy there in the red. You know, they started off hot and heavy, and Zeb's coming forward again, but Gergiy is giving him a bit of a taste of his own medicine as we get into round 2 now. You know, we talk about crowd too. You know, the crowd is getting bigger and bigger each day. It's certainly starting to fill up, and we're going to see a lot more here in the afternoon and night.
And I'll tell you what, those Canterbury boys,
well, they brought half a Christchurch.
They brought half a Christchurch up.
Great. Just under a minute to go now. You know, relatively hard to score just with the barrage of punches that have been thrown, but I do see Zeb slightly edging forward just with the aggression and more shots landed.
And of course there is 5 judges looking at these bouts.
That's correct. So, you know, the decision at times can go split, which means 2 are in favour of one fighter and 3 in favour of the other. Zeb just throwing everything he can at Gergiy, setting him up, lighting him up and hitting him hard.
There was a couple of nice overhand rights and he managed to connect on those. Even though it was he was a southpaw, he managed to land a couple of nice ones. Maybe he's one of these fortunate kids that, you know, are able to switch it over.
And I'm looking forward to seeing a switcher, to be honest. Haven't seen too many yet, but we will see one in the tournament. And there we go, round 2 just flew by again, Brent.
And with a bit of luck over again today and possibly tonight, we'll be having some guest commentators coming up, joining us up here at the, I'm going to say from the rafters of the
Yeah, it'd be good to get Dave up in here again, Manny P, a few other coaches and fighters. Good to see their insight, their eye for detail when they're watching the fights as well.
And of course with David, he doesn't technically have to be here from my understanding, but he's come down, he's here, and then I'll get some information from Steve shortly. But
you raise a good point, because I was wondering if he's going to stick around, and good on him for.
Well, the thing is, he moves around the stadium when he's talking to these young boxers and looking up, and we'll have a chat to him about how he feels about, you know, the boxing and the involvement of these young guys and how he's come through the ranks to get to where he is, of course, qualifying for Tokyo. So the final round again, 1.5 minutes.
Who wants this more? Who wants to go through to the final? From what I'm seeing so far, Zeb, but seems like Gergiy's been listening because they're throwing down, and this is a barn burner.
I hope you don't mind we can't actually call what's happening here because it's just firing it out.
Even Vinny's enjoying the action down there. You can see a big smile on his face. This is action-packed. The crowd are getting behind it. With the second fight of the night, I can't imagine what it's going to be like this afternoon, this evening.
I think we're going to see some absolutely incredible matchups. As you say, we've been saying it, the boxers themselves, you know, they want that title. They want to be known as a New Zealand champion. Doesn't matter what grade they're in.
It seems like, too, they're feeding off the crowd energy here, because this fight hasn't stopped from the get-go, especially round 3. You know, give it up for these 2 little fellas at 44 kilograms. Both throwing down. Who wants this more? Who's going to go through to the final?
And as you can see, our referee is watching very, very closely. He might sort of pull them out, but if they don't, Zed gets pinned into that corner. Yeah, he's making them come back forward again. Let's go.
Just a flurry of blows from each fighter.
Watch the next 10 seconds. It's going to light up like a Christmas tree.
10 seconds to go. The coaches are screaming. The crowd's on their feet. Who's going to go through for the W? Throwing right to the end. What a fight.
Very, very entertaining, I have to say. And as I say, you can see again these young fellas respectfully going to the opposition's corner.
You can see it too in the coaches' faces. You know, they know when their boys are throwing it all down and putting everything out there. And what a fight that was for such young fellas.
I was talking to a couple of the young ones this morning when I came in and just having a chat with them. And those that sort of miss out with a split decision, you can sort of see it breaks their heart.
And too right, you know, it's such a painful way to exit a bout when some thought you won, and others thought you didn't.
All right, the judges have passed the cards over. Let's drop down to Vinny.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision in the blue corner, representing Manawatu Boxing Association, Zeb Ormsby.
Yeah, it sort of felt like that was where it was heading because of the speed at which he... Well, that's, but again, being a little bit unfair, that both of the boys came out firing and there was no turning back. They were just going to go for it.
Loved it too. Gergiy certainly turned up the heat in the last round, trying to fight through, steal that last round if he could, and that's how he got that split decision. A couple of judges may have thought he won that fight. That's what it was, the split.
Hope you're enjoying the coverage here at the Te Rauparaha Arena here in Porirua City. My name is Brent Perry and joining me is Isaac
Boxers
Savage.
to the ring, please.
Isaac's made his way down from Auckland.
Yeah, it was a good trip down. Good to be in the city of a beautiful Wellington, Porirua. Such a good reception.
Good boy. Wellington, my own old hometown.
Yeah, and it's, you know, everyone refers to this place as the arena. Certainly a good crowd. Such a good following. And here we have our brain, Al, coming up now to the ring, all the way from Christchurch.
Now, these are the bantamweights, so they're at 56 kg, and they will be three-minute rounds, so we're stepping up as we get into these slightly heavier boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a semi-final bout contested in the bantamweight 56 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Shamrock Boxing Association, Alfante.
Alfante stands at 1.6 centimetres.
And in the blue corner, representing Manawatu Boxing Association, Judah Emery.
And Judah is a southpaw at 5'10". Again, the Wellington champ and Manawatu champ.
And your referee is Sol Lomu.
This one again, Alfante out of Shamrock, and Judah, another southpaw versus orthodox. Al being the shorter of the few, he's going to have to go forward, get in the pocket. Let's see how it goes against the southpaw.
And I would imagine that's going to be like fast and furious to get started with, but they may just spend a bit of time sizing themselves up. There is a distinct height advantage.
I've seen Al fight a few times. He's certainly got the skill. Very fast, very quick, and you can see the speed here tonight as he comes forward now, just planting those blows.
Yeah, he scored, and again.
In and
two,
out.
And he's going in left and right. He's coming on.
You can see the speed difference too, so he'll get a shot, then come in and out. Body shots out. Just slightly one step ahead of Judah. And this is through, well, 4 to go through to the final as well. So both boys will be throwing everything out there.
And of course our finals are tomorrow, where we starting at 2 o'clock on air, and then again at 5 o'clock for the finals. Some of these finals this afternoon actually in the lighter weights.
Hey, take nothing. I mean, the finals are going to be amazing, but we are going to see some fantastic fights today where they are putting everything on the line just to get to that final. As we see Alfante here, eased off a little bit now from the start of the round. Judah just trying to find his range. He should utilise that longer reach as well, but Alfante made it quite difficult for him with the speed.
And I watched Judah Emery. You just see his mouth guard. He's drawing air.
Yep, as you can see, there's a bit of a speed difference. Al's just getting in there, but hey, look, beautiful movement there from Judah. Stepped out the way. He's starting to sort of read some of the movements and patterns now from Al. But Al's in complete control here. He stands forward, that leading left foot, controlling the ring, and now gets him in the corner. What's he going to do? Unleash. He gets out though. That was a very good move there from Judah, getting out of the corner.
Yeah, well, Al is on his bio that he's provided to us. He actually is orthodox, but is able to switch it up. He can turn over. Probably feels that he's just as good if he goes southpaw.
Haven't seen him switch yet. Probably feels he doesn't need to. He's got that high right guard now. Let's see what he does if he does switch up. Seems like he's in control so far at orthodox. Longer rounds. And that's probably why at times the pace can be a little bit slow. You know, they have to conserve that energy, and they are a bit more skilled and precise with their shots. So they're not just throwing it all out there for, 30 seconds or a minute and a half.
About to get the 10-second clapper, so here we go, boys.
Big shots there from Al.
He's trying to find the range. And again, because of that slightly shorter stance, he's driving really nicely from his thighs and getting that lift on the punch.
Also, so you saw in the last sort of 10 seconds, he's actually deflecting and moving out of the way of the shots, even though Judah's taller, which is amazing to see for a shorter fighter. Seven fights to go this afternoon. All fighters throwing everything out there to go through to the finals.
Yeah, it was asked of us yesterday, do you think that these boxers are going to sort of leave anything behind and think, if I get through, that's fine, I still need to conserve some energy. But after talking with a few of the trainers, that's not the instruction they've been given. It's no, you've got to win this one before you even think of going to the next one.
Said there, he said, sometimes you see the better fights in the lead up, because they're just trying to get through to the final, and by final day they're a little bit worse for wear, but finals is always a great day.
Seconds out, round 2.
Our coverage brought to you by Sky Sport next.
Just want to mention too, Judah is a 2020 Wellington champion, 3-2 against Al there in the red. Al certainly the speedier of the two, so let's see what he does again in round 2 to close this distance.
He scored a nice headshot just then.
Beauty about Al too, rather than getting in the pocket, he's actually getting in and out, so he's playing a bit of a different game in the sense that a shorter fighter at times will get in, he's getting in and out, taking it to Judah.
Oh, and a couple of lovely blows and scoring points.
This is absolute mayhem, and he's certainly living up to the gym he represents. A bit of an elbow there, so ref tells him, knock that out.
Now, of course, because of the amateur, these referees keep a real close look on what these boxers are doing.
Judah now coming through with the double left jab. Really struggling with the speed here of Al. I'd like to see him pop a few more out and set up that left jab, double left jab with another combo. That could throw Al off his game plan.
Referee just getting out of the road in time.
Nice uppercut there from Judah. Son to find a little bit of his beautiful uppercut, and then he followed through with the left. Slightly starting to use that height advantage and reach now against Al. See, Al likes to feint a lot as well, which a lot of the time Judah is actually falling into the trap of, and that's how he can set up later combos. He'll feint again with that left shoulder, lean forward. Judah coming over the left hook. You can certainly sense too, these 3-minute rounders are a little bit longer. But, like I said, there's more skills, there's more expertise on the line here. What a throw there.
Quite able to mix it up against the ropes, and then, as I say, the referee will try and bring him back and say, look, guys.
Both boys center ring.
Oh, a little haymaker that just went away.
And you've got to give it up, fitness is key at this point. With these longer rounds, they are having to train day in, day out, do their road work, throw hard and fast for more than 3 rounds, usually double or triple amount of rounds.
Yeah, well, Alfante just caused Emery to almost lose his mouth guard. So he took a reasonably good blow. But doesn't seem to be slowing him down.
This is where both boys start going to deep waters. They start showing who's got the grit, the determination. 10 seconds to go. Judah is still in every part in this fight. Al is bringing the heat, but Judah ain't going away no time soon.
No, he's not. He's not willing to sort of take a step back. That is for sure.
And don't forget, whoever wins this goes through to the final. So this is an important fight.
A lot of the fights we'll be seeing later this afternoon, or into the evening I should say, are all finals, but they are the lighter weight divisions all the way through. But it does make them a New Zealand champion, and they will get their appropriate medals. And
Terry Reid there giving some words of advice. Meehan there in the corner of Judah. Both very good trainers, produced many a champion.
Seconds out, round 3.
At times the coach's competitiveness can almost be as competitive as the fighters as we get ready now for round 3, the money round as they say. Al slightly ahead, I'd say, on points, but Judah, he can take this round, and he's got that reach, he's got everything in his skill set to win this. But just as I said that, I think Al heard me and said, no, I think you're wrong, I'm going to take this. Told off again for...
Yeah, I think the two, when you've got that height advantage that Judah's got, Alfante, he's got to get in close, and it makes it more difficult. But of course, with his hand speed,
it's beautiful to see. I mean, you can tell that the speed level here of Alfante is a level above. And nice little shot there, a little cheeky shot from Judah. Beautiful body shot too again from Judah. Followed up by a left hook. See, Alfante doesn't mind being in the pocket too, you know. He'll stand and bang, get up and gritty with Judah there as they both run down in the pocket.
Both their corners are screaming at their fighters to say, come on, you've got just a minute and a bit to go. Don't leave anything behind in this ring.
Good guard there to Alfante. He brings the right up to his chin, but also down by his ribcage to stop any body shots sneaking through. Troy Garden there in the corner too, just going straight through to the final. Saturday night. Both boys, this is an absolute slugfest. They want to go through to the final. Judah is bringing it as we go down now to 1 minute to go.
So if Judah's had 6 wins and only 1 loss.
Good work here from Alfante, getting up against the rope. Beautiful shot there from Judah. Some fighters don't mind being on the ropes. Usually it is an advantage for the fighter who's got the other up against the rope, but Judah certainly proved that point wrong when he threw that uppercut. The work rate of both fighters has been 0 to 100 for every single round.
I tell you what, they must be sitting there going, oh, this 3 minutes is a long time right now after the first 2 rounds.
Well, the last minute, they've not taken their foot off the gas. They're just throwing down, 15 to go. You can hear both coaches screaming now. The crowd are getting wild. The clapper goes. Big shots from both boys, finishing strong. A shake of the head there from Alfante saying, thank goodness.
Okay.
What a fight, what a display of courage, grit and boxing finesse from both fighters. Alfante definitely the speedier of the two, but Judah certainly landing a shot every now and then through that guard there of the shorter fighter. Not too far away now from the judges' decision. Hope you guys are all enjoying the show back home. Kaitaia, King Country, East Coast, Cape to Cairo, we welcome you all.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, representing Shamrock Boxing Association,
there you have it,
Alfante.
Taking away the win.
I have to say, I would have probably coped with a split decision on that, because I thought that they were both pretty much, apart from the aggression that Alfante was actually doing at the beginning of that first and second, and in both rounds, probably 3 rounds, but yeah, just seemed to see things going a more split. But who am I?
Well, you know, we're seeing it on one angle or two or multiple, and there are 5 judges down there as well. So I'm definitely not mad at that decision, and I'm happy to see Alfante go through to the final. looking forward to seeing who he faces off with.
Yeah.
Boxers to the ring, please.
So, of course, as I say, it's fast and furious with Sky Sport next at the 2020 National New Zealand Boxing Championships. It's literally one in, one out, and we're underway. So, hope you're enjoying the coverage as we are enjoying presenting it to you.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you've seen the draw card and you see a fight you want to watch, tune in and don't go away.
So we'll drop down to a semi-final bout contested in the lightweight 60-kilo division. In the red corner, representing Kirikiriroa Boxing Association, Alex Mukuka. And in the blue corner, representing Shamrock Boxing Association, Keith Dube.
60 kilograms. This is another 3x3.
And your referee
whoever wins goes
Peter George.
Straight through to the final.
Yeah, and Keith Dube, he has a slight advantage. He's standing 173 and 166.5 to Alex. So a little bit of a possible reach advantage.
Both boys too. You know, Keith coming away with the 2020, well, came second at the last 220 North Island Golden Glove champs, and Alex was the 220 North Island Golden Glove champion. So, bit of bragging rights. Both these boys are highly skilled. Looking forward to seeing who takes us away for the final, round one.
Turn that on. Alex describes himself, he can switch it either way. Keith more unorthodox.
Alex Dube there in the blue. Keith Dube there in the blue. Alex there in the red. Both boys got experience. What I'm loving too about the outlay of all these cards for the afternoon, it gets heavier as we go up. So every single fight moving forward goes slightly up in weight.
Well, we've just have our President of New Zealand Boxing join us, Steve Hartley. Another a warm welcome. Well, good afternoon to you, Steve.
Thank you, Brett, and I hope you're enjoying the boxing as much as I am.
Oh, we're loving it. I mean, Isaac and I just sort of are saying that the quality of the boxing right from the day one, the beginning of the afternoon session today, it's just great.
Yeah, we believe in the last probably 12 months especially, we've seen the standard has been really high. A lot of it probably stems a little bit from we've been encouraging our elite boxers to gain a lot more competition internationally, and I think it's starting to paddle down now from the top, and it's looking really good on these younger boxers.
Well said, Stephen. This is a pathway to the Olympics, isn't it? From here to the Commonwealths and then on to the Olympics, should they be successful.
Yeah, it's the Olympic thing, it's probably a little bit misunderstood by some people. You don't just be the best in New Zealand and go to the Olympics and represent New Zealand. The Olympics is an invitation tournament, and so there's criteria that has to be set by the IOC for a start, the International Olympic Committee, and then it's got to be set by the NZOC and agreed on by Boxing New Zealand, and we set a pathway, and when they achieve a number of milestones, they now qualify to be on a high performance team, and then we can work them through the process and get them qualified through the various qualifying tournaments, one for Oceania, Asia, and then the final one, which is the Worlds.
So far in round number one, I think Alex has been more the aggressor, and he's been scoring some lovely shots.
Well, the interesting thing about this fight is Alex was the Golden Glove 20 North Island champ, whereas Keith came second. So, these boys are certainly throwing it down, and they're very, very evenly matched. It's a good fight, but you're right on that one, Brent. Alex is slightly pushing forward in this one.
Alex is now a permanent resident here in New Zealand, but was born in Zambia. So, of course, his main goal now, is he wants to put the silver fern on a blazer. So that's his goal.
He will have him.
Nice body shot there from Alex, and again landing on Dube.
Oh, you watched.
Big shots here from Alex.
Yeah, now, I was going to say, Alex was getting some fantastic scoring shots, and the referee has stepped in and taken standing 8. And I think, as you would say, saved by the bell in that particular round. Because one of the things that you will notice, if a boxer gets a standing count 3 times in the same round, or if the referee feels that the boxer's had enough, he will stop the bout straight away. There's actually, while Steve's still with us, it's the safety side of things, and it's just the way it happens.
Yes, yep. We've got to be very careful how brave the boxer is. We don't want a brave referee. You know, it is a contact sport, and
seconds
if
out,
measures aren't
round
put in place, then of course bad things can happen. So we're very, very careful, and we've got a very good record, and we're proud of it, and we're not going to tarnish it.
So I think Alex is going to sort of try and get straight back onto the front foot and finish off what he did in round number 1 to Keith Dube.
Alex looked like the Terminator at the end of that round. I'm surprised Keith didn't guard up. You know, he heard that clapper, but it's easier said than done. You know, they both were standing, banging, throwing down.
And you see his head movement. And I'm talking about Alex Mukuka.
Alex certainly the...
he's definitely...
aggressor.
Absolutely. He's moving forward. And I think he's got the measure of what Keith Dube is doing.
Just a blistering pace too. You know, he's been overwhelming Dube from the start, and it certainly showed there in the last 10 seconds of round 1. I think Steve too would agree that sometimes if you do get overwhelmed in the early parts of the round, it can set up for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, you can put you off, you know, and hopefully the coach can get you back in the corner and settle you down and say, look, mate, you're probably doing this wrong, but you're poking your chin in there and you should have it out of there, or your weight's on the back foot, you're not allowing yourself to skip out of there, control the distance, you know, so it's all those little things that can change about, and it can turn in an instant, you know, especially when the kid gets a little bit of confidence.
Well, that saying, wounded tiger, you know, and Brett would agree on that. Some fighters, sports teams perform better under pressure.
Yeah, and I had a feeling that was about to come again. If you Keith Dube just started to keep his head in the same position. Alex was actually bobbing away, managed to do it. Referee's just going to see. Again, are you okay to go?
Alex certainly living up to that North Island Golden Glove champ title.
There's no head movement coming from Keith at all. It just seems to be like a standing target. Here's Minchin, hit it.
It does show too the skill of Alex. He's aiming and he's firing. His fists are just like missiles at the moment. They're landing every single time he throws through.
And he's scoring both hands.
Nice little body shot slip there. Body shot again. We'll go higher than low. Great boxing here from Alex there in the red.
Yep, towels come in. I think he said his boxers, and I'm talking Keith Dube's corner, has thrown the towel in and said no. I've seen enough.
And that's the beauty of another layer of safety. It's not only the referee, it's the coach in the corner. And, you know, so it's just one of many layers that are in place. You could see that, look, there's a little bit pointless this going on. I know the kid wants to finish this thing, but we also want his head intact, and his health comes first.
Yeah, that's the beauty of these champs. You know, like you said, there's no point of carrying on if someone's clearly in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, we are in the entertainment industry to a degree, but hey, the kids come before what the crowd wants. You know, it's not a blood sport what we're doing here. This is a technical sport, and it's got to be treated as such.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I get asked a few times.
So we'll just jump down to our ringside announcer, Vinny. He's even though we know what the result is, we still make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by abandoned in the red corner, representing Kirikiriroa Boxing Association, Alex Mukuka.
Again, seeing that sportsmanship of going, come on, mate.
Beautiful display. And he'll be back. Dube will be back. It stopped early without any too much serious damage or injury, and he'll be back again. As we go to the replay. Big shots, Dube actually landing one of his own there.
So I hope you're enjoying this coverage with coverage Sky Sport next. I'm Brent Perry along with my co-anchor Isaac Savage to the 118th New Zealand National Championships here at the Te Rapraha Arena in Porirua City. Full and fire, massive program of boxing being brought to you live, and it's absolutely jammed packed. We've got another 5 in this session, or 6 to go in this session, and then later this evening, starting at 5 o'clock, 17 different bouts are going to be available. So we'll just head down to our ring announcer, and he will make the announcement of the boxers coming in.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a semi-final bout contested in the light welterweight women's 64 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Central North Island Boxing Association, Leonie Rosin. And in the blue corner, representing Bay of Plenty Boxing Association, Michelle Nuku. And your referee is Ina Schuster.
So Michelle is the current New Zealand lightweight champion, trained by Chris Walker out of Tauranga in the Bay of Plenty. And Rex Jenkins from the Rotorua Central Boxing, looking after Leonie Rosin.
Yeah, Leonie Rosin there in the red, representing Central. Michelle Nuku from BOP, Bay of Plenty.
And
certainly.
Yeah, Leonie's got a definite height advantage, so whether or not she's going to rip into that and use that reach.
Michelle Nuku, 2019 Auckland champion and 2019 defending New Zealand amateur champion. She's got the experience. Rosin, though, 2-time New Zealand amateur champ, so both girls are certainly bringing some accolade to this fight. This is the 3-3, and the winner will be going through to the final.
Yeah, there's a distinct advantage in height, you can see that. But Michelle, not scared to get in there and say, I'm coming after you, you can back up all you like.
You always love seeing a taller fighter against a shorter and seeing how the stylistic matchup turns out in the ring. And at times we see the taller fighter punch away and keep that shorter fighter at bay, or we see the shorter fighter get in there and get aggressive.
Yeah, she's sort of stalking, isn't she, Michelle? She's coming forward,
well, she's having
trying to tie her up on the ropes. Yeah, exactly, because that reach is going to be her problem.
And Rosin does have a bit of reach here. She is doing her best to keep Nuku at bay, but Nuku's going to have to work hard and move forward each and every shot and set up those shots, move angles so she can hit away at that long body.
Oh, nice headshot coming in for Michelle.
Just walking forward now. Nice shot there from Nuku. Threw it to the ropes and then followed up with the right hook. Both girls moving back to the centre of the ring. Nuku showing that aggression, coming forward now, straightforward punches.
Working the body over as well and then sort of coming back upstairs.
Big overhand right. Doing a great job of closing that gap. Rosin definitely wants to get out of the corner here. Not a good space for her to be. Nuku not leaving her out.
As I say, we're going to have a number of boxers coming up and joining us, and some, I suppose, some VIPs as well will be helping us during the next 2 days here at the New Zealand Championships.
Well, looking forward to that. You know, we're going to have an array of boxers and trainers up here in the hot seat, and always good to see their insight, their thoughts on how the fight's playing out.
Getting close to that 10 seconds, of course, for round number 1. I'd have to say that Michelle Nuku, which to me, being the aggressor, I think she's slightly ahead on points.
I'd have to agree with you there. Rosin was doing a good job early on, keep her at bay. Yep. Nuku certainly turned up the heat and brought it on as we got through to the end of the round.
Well, I'll let you introduce another.
Well, as we're talking about boxers joining us, none other than Lawrence Sitter over at 100 amateur fights. Here he joins us now, and welcome along today, Lawrence.
Hey, how you going, Isaac?
Happy to have you up here, mate. And how's it being up in the hot seat, seeing the ring from here rather than being in it?
It's a little nerve-wracking up here, actually. I'd rather be down there in the ring.
No way. So you'd rather be in the ring than up here on the mic?
Yeah, I'll admit I'd rather be down there. It's a little bit intimidating, a little bit more intimidating being up here.
No, I think I'd rather do this than be standing in a ring with
100%.
you. Last time I saw you, of course, was at the Golden Gloves in Taufa last year.
Yes, and I wasn't standing. I was standing in the ring with a very formidable opponent.
Yeah, well, it happens.
From time to time, you're sticking it long enough, you're going to get in there with the best.
And how are you enjoying the what you've been watching so far?
It's been very entertaining. It's seeing some of the young talent coming through in the last couple of days has been pretty promising and encouraging to see what the future of New Zealand boxing is going to look like.
And there's a great number of competitors competing this morning. Something like about 143 boxers have come to Porirua for the Nationals, from literally Cape Reinga all the way down the bottom of the South Island. Now, these girls aren't mucking around either.
Well, as soon as Lawrence got on the hot seat, they certainly turned it up as well. And what are your thoughts on the action that's going down right now, Lawrence?
Young Michelle, mate, she is... I watched her at last year's national, mate, and she was pretty phenomenal there. And I think she's carried that form on into 2020, so... I think she's a good chance if she carries up this form to defend that title.
That's a nice scoring shot too. She's banging away at Leonie's head.
Yeah, Leonie would want to keep her at distance, but you know, Lawrence, you've been in there. You know what it's like when you are fighting a taller fighter. If they are super aggressive, you just got to get in there and take them out.
And that's it. Sometimes it comes down to just taking that risk. You got to take that risk sometimes, and just hopefully it pays off. And it's looking like for Michelle at the moment, it's paying off.
Speaking of taking risks, if you didn't jump in against Naika back then, who would have taken that fight? Who would have done it?
Oh, I'm unsure. There is a Jerome. He actually come up from the 81 division at the Golden Gloves to fill that spot as well. So he took David in the semi, and I managed to get the lucky draw and get him in the final. So yeah, there's a couple of us that are willing to do it, but it's a little unfortunate that there's no one sitting in there at the moment for David to be here on display to this weekend.
No, but David has come in most days and had his sparring, of course, to keep himself. He came up and spoke with us yesterday as well, Lawrence. And it's done. I'm saying that Michelle Nuku is not taking a back step at any stage.
Well, it's very clear to say that she wants to go through to the final. She wants to finish this round. Doesn't even want to go the distance, and she could very well be facing Troy Caydan tomorrow evening.
When I was mentioning David, it's with David Nakia, of course, our New Zealand heavyweight champion.
30 seconds to go now. Just the overpowering display here now from Nuku as she just walks forward, is wearing Leonie down as we go forward now to the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, she's not giving Leonie a chance to even breathe.
Well, they say there's one thing getting a title, it's defending it, and Michelle is definitely working to defend her title.
Slight target on your back, do you reckon, Lawrence, when you've got the title?
Well, that's it. Everybody wants to be at the number one spot.
And what are your thoughts, Lawrence, when you are, because you're relatively tall yourself, are you often in a spot where you're facing taller guys, or you are the taller fighter, and what advice do you give on that matchup?
For the taller guys, you want to keep your range. You want to use those long limbs that you have and keep them at bay. And movement. Stay off that centre line and move around your opponent. Don't stay in front of them. Doesn't matter if you're short or tall, long or short. You know, if you're moving around them and getting off that centre line, you've got a pretty good shot at it.
We notice with a lot of the younger boxers looking up to you guys in the senior ranks, do they come up and
seconds out, round 3,
pick your brains?
A couple do. They come and ask what the nerves are like and how we deal with it. And the key is breathe.
Breathe.
Well
All right, Going into our round number 3, of course, Michelle Nuku in blue and Leonie Rosin in red. And at the moment, guys, I'm probably saying that Michelle Nuku is doing enough at this point. She's, again, coming straight forward. Leonie needs, he's been probably her friend has been saying, hey, you're behind here, girl. We need to push this along.
Just as you said that, there were a couple of uppercuts landed, though.
Yeah, what she needs to do, being that taller fighter, she needs to command that centre of that ring, eh? She needs to get her back off those ropes, turn Michelle around and command the centre.
Might have a stoppage coming up here. I'm just noticing that left-hand glove of Leonie. There's a little bit of tape floating around. I'm sure the referee will be looking at that very closely.
Beautiful ring control here, though. Lawrence, you talked about Leonie getting into the centre. It just seems like Nuku's not allowing her to do that.
Nah, she's not at all. If it was me, I would be trying to do what she's doing there, trying to tie those arms up and try and spin her out of there. There, exactly what she's just done.
Nostradamus called there, Lawrence, and she did exactly that.
She's just got to keep doing it.
1.5 down, 1.5 to go. Dominant display here from Nuku. Just walking her down, almost chasing her towards the ropes.
Of course, Michelle Nuku out of Tauranga in the Bay of Plenty. Of course, these girls have come across each other before.
Beautiful overhand right there, or hook from Nuku.
Yeah, big difference in, of course, these boxes with Leonie Rosin. She's only had 5 bouts. Up against, 19-25 for Michelle Nuku, 19 wins, 6 losses.
As we go down now to the final minute. Hat off to both these female fighters. I mean, Nuku's certainly bringing the heat. Leonie is not going down without a fight.
Oh, surely, mate. She is. She's shown a lot of courage in there. And just that, not giving up.
And that's the thing, you know, a lot of people don't realise, unless they've done a bit of sparring with a bit of boxing, one punch to the head to the body can be too much for some people when they give it a go.
Oh, definitely, mate. I've said for a long time, it takes a lot of courage to step through those ropes for the first time and let that bell ring and go literally to war sometimes.
That's the thing, I still can't believe that you'd rather be up here, well, down there than up here, you crazy man.
And that, of course, finishes that round up with Leonie Rosin taking on Michelle Nuku. I would say, as a non-betting man, but I would probably be saying it would be Michelle Nuku on that one.
Yeah, I'd be pretty confident in saying that as well.
Well, if it's 2 against 1, I'm definitely going to agree. But I'm looking forward now to see Nuku and Garton, if I must say, for tomorrow night.
Yes.
But we still must get the official decision. But, yeah, I hope all those watching back home agree, but enjoyed that fight as well.
So we'll just head down to our ringside announcer, Vinny, and as the judges have made their decision.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, representing Bay of Plenty Boxing Association, Michelle Nuku.
Oh, well, Lawrence, if it's not boxing, you don't want to do commentary. You could also be a judge now. You got that right.
Well, you never know.
Well, just promote you and just do it.
Nah, I'm quite enjoying being a coach these days. I'm thoroughly enjoying the coaching part.
In saying that, though,
how many kids have you actually got under your...
I've got, so I'm part of Masterton and Districts Boxing Association, so actually head coach of the Masterton and Districts Boxing Association team this year, and we've got four over here this weekend. I've got 3 on tonight.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, well, you'll be getting excited. Of course, this looks like our Wellington out of the Kapiti Boxing Club.
We've got a Wellington versus Canterbury showdown.
Oh, yeah. This is great.
This is,
listen to that.
This is awesome. Young Michael Reynolds, mate. I've actually spent a little bit of time training with Michael over the years as I was part of the Wellington Hutt Valley team a couple of years ago.
All right, we'll just go down to Vinny and he will announce the boxes to our viewers and also to the people in the stadium.
The following is a semi-final bout contested in the light welterweight 64 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Wellington Hutt Valley, Michael Reynolds. And in the blue corner, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Christian Tikao.
And Christian loves to have his nickname read out, the Snatcher.
Your referee is Paul McSherry.
What a nickname, the Snatcher.
Snatcher.
All the way from Canterbury against Michael, who's done a bit of training, or you've got a bit of experience with Michael there, Lawrence.
Yeah, so I've spent a little bit of time down here in Wellington as well, training and boxing a few years ago, so I've got to know the Wellington team quite well. So yeah, Michael, he's a pretty handy man in the boxing ring, and I've taken my fair share of punches from him, I'll tell you that.
He's also a bit of a comedian when he writes down his height as 4'3" and growing.
Hey, but look at the accolades. He's a 220 Auckland champ, but also the 220 North Island Golden Gloves champ. So he's certainly got, he can back it up. You know, he's obviously handy, and he's got the straps to say so.
Both orthodox boxers, and again, not mucking around on this one.
Well, let's not forget Christian won via Tikao yesterday against Kelly, or Vincent Kelly. So he's probably wanting to do the same too early on. Certainly the aggressor of the two.
Yeah, he's the Canterbury champion for 2020, South Island champion Golden Gloves in 2020 as well. And he's had 2 silver medalists at the New Zealand champs. He's trained by Mike Pimley and Eric Simcock.
I mean, I know Michael has certainly got the accolades, but Christian's certainly coming forward. He's almost, you know, putting it all down, regardless of the experience for Michael.
Oh, definitely. And Michael having those accolades that he does have, as I said, you're going to have that target put on your back, and having a couple of silver medals next to your name, it only makes you a little bit hungrier.
Exactly. You know, the whole Rocky movie, Balboa, the underdog. And Christian, on paper, would be the underdog as we go into this fight.
Well, Christian's had 40 bouts. And Michael around just over 35, he says.
This is an absolute war. We're only in round 1.5 down. You'd almost think this is a final in itself. Crowd going wild.
I hope you're enjoying the coverage from Sky Sport Next. I'm sure you are. And of course, our camera crew are providing us some of the best coverage of a ring.
Oh, we're super spoiled. The angles they're showing. We're getting to see it all up here. And both boys, what a fight this is too. 2 minutes down, 1 minute to go. Like I said, this is almost the final itself. Both these boys really want to go through, and one's going to go through at the end of these 3.
And you're saying you've been in the ring with one of these boys?
Yeah, with young Michael, and as I said, man, he's landed a few on me. He's pretty quick, he's pretty sharp. But at the same time, Christian is looking just as impressive.
Walking forward now. Beautiful combos from both boys.
And we still haven't had the 10-second bell yet. The crowd is getting behind them.
It's almost like they're throwing polar opposite body shot combos. So one will swing one way, the other will. They'll land, they'll go back to it. This is so entertaining. Did that body shot land? And again, what a round.
Look at that, man. That was just forehead on forehead, and let's just stand in the middle and dance.
I don't know if you saw that last body shot then, and I don't know if it caught him so well that he dropped or he's actually moving. Did you see that last body shot?
I did see, and I didn't see quite clearly whether it landed either, but it was a good shot.
And look at these angles, look at these replays. 100% points on aggression for both boys, just standing right in the middle.
Be very interesting seeing if we can to see if they can keep this pace for the entire 3 rounds.
If you were judging downstairs, how would you even judge this one, Lawrence? Who would you be swinging it towards?
I'd be pulling a 50-cent coin out of my pocket and flipping it.
Call of the day, I like that one. We might have to do that for a couple of the fights here.
Yes.
Yeah, too hard to call, but entertaining, and I bet everyone watching back home is absolutely loving this.
And of course, we've got 5 judges scoring these bouts. So
3 threes.
What we see and what they see are probably 2 different things at times.
Oh, definitely, but some of the judges down there, they're very, very experienced. Like, some of these judges have been here since I was a kid, and I'm 35 now, so some of them are very, very experienced.
You know, the beauty of this bout too is they've both got similar styles. It's not a boxer versus an aggressive slugger. They're both, in the pocket, very aggressive and just like to stand.
You know what they say, mate, styles make fights, and these 2 styles that we're seeing in the ring are making a damn good fight.
Well, they just don't want to retreat. They're standing right in the middle, basically brawling to someone falls, but no one's going to go down on this one.
A couple of lovely body shots from Michael Reynolds.
You know, we were talking about respect earlier too, and it's all good to show respect, but as soon as that bell goes, you sometimes, at times, got to throw that out the window, right?
Oh, that's it, mate. It doesn't matter who's in front of you inside the ring. Once the bell goes, it's war. And then on the flip side, once that bell goes at the end, your mates again. Like some of my closest friends are the boys I've shared that ring with.
You and David had the odd chat as well?
Yeah, mate, I'll be honest, after Golden Gloves, we were messaging for a fair while after the fight, actually.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's hard not to get along with him.
Oh, it is, mate. He's a good dude outside of the ring, just as good as he is inside it. Like, as you said, that he's done some sparring. We actually organised that on Tuesday between me and him at the announcement of the bouts, of the draw.
Well, good on you for getting in there, and even the work you've done here with Michael. It's so good having you up here commentate on this war. This is a crazy fight. The mouth guard goes flying.
That just shot across. I think that's in the first row.
Yeah, they better go get that.
Yeah, judge is trying to pass it back in.
Did the referee see it? No, he's picked it up.
He's getting called out from a judge.
Hey, Brett, you talk about fireworks. That shot out like a firework.
Yeah.
I mean, where did that go? We're going to have to, get a search party going on for that one.
Dingoes. Going to have to get some slow-mo action on that camera to find out where that went. I've got a feeling Miss Jenkins.
Slow-mo.
I've got a feeling Miss Jenkins in the first row caught that.
Man, this is an absolute war. Super entertaining. Relatively clean too.
As you say, Michael's landed a couple of... In fact, it's tit for tat. They both saying toe-to-toe, I'll hit you, you hit me. My turn.
McSharry, he looks like he's enjoying this fight too. You know, he's reffing. 10 seconds to go.
There's one thing I know about Paul, mate. He loves this stuff.
He certainly does. Is it a count now, or what's he doing? Just having to talk to him.
He's telling him off for something, but we couldn't quite pick it up. He didn't indicate whether it was anything, not an elbow or a head, but nothing.
I'm going to ask Lawrence again, how does he score this?
That 50-cent piece is probably coming out again.
And look, it could go either way.
That's it. Christian was looking pretty confident at the end of that second.
Not sure what McSharry said to him there at the end.
He wasn't happy. He wasn't happy.
No, he wasn't.
He was pointing the finger. He was giving him the...
Let's see now if we can see anything of the odd elbow or a low blow, but I can't quite see what happened there, but he certainly did something.
No.
No, I could see nothing in that.
No, he didn't, but as I say, he was pointing the finger and giving him the message.
Paul's a pretty good and relaxed judge, so he must have done something.
Seconds out as we get into our third and final round between Michael Reynolds in the red and Christian Tikao.
So just remember, whoever wins this goes through to the final. I feel sorry for the opponent, whoever they have to face off in one of these ones, as we go now through to the money round.
Yeah, well, whoever they meet in the final, they'll be actually potentially rubbing their hands together because this has been an absolute war.
Very good call. Very good call.
But as we were saying earlier, Lawrence, you can't leave anything in the ring thinking, oh, I might get through to the finals. I need to do it now.
No, that's exactly it, mate. You've got to leave it all in there because the preliminaries may be your last time.
That's the thing. You don't want to save too much for the final if you don't get through to the final. It's a fine line.
That's it.
Now, Lawrence, with a bout like this where it is a slugfest, the recovery for these boxers, what would you be saying if one of these boys was yours? He comes out of that ring in a couple of minutes. What would you do to get him ready for tomorrow?
We're very lucky we're in a venue that we're at because I'll be saying go straight next door, sauna, spa, ice, home, sleep.
What about eat?
Fit it in somewhere.
Yeah.
Get that fuel in you.
If we talk about the arena that we're in, of course, we're at in Porirua, just north of Wellington at the Te Rauparaha Arena, and it's a massive facility. Porirua could be exceptionally happy with what is available. Changing rooms for the boxers, and also, as you was just saying, Lawrence, the pools, sauna. Try and get rid of that.
Oh, just a bit of a drop. Now the mouth guard comes out again. 1.5 down, 1.5 to go. Christian started landing a few more clean shots there in that last onslaught, but still.
Yep. Noticing hands on hips though, hands on hips. It's normally a sign.
Big shot there from Michael.
Another left hook.
Yeah, Christian seems to be just going over the top a lot of the time, just grazing the top of the head. Are they happy to go downstairs?
Absolute war. You know, these guys haven't taken their foot off the gas from the get-go.
No, he's meaning that's about the third time that Christian has lost his mouth guard.
So Paul McSherry, the ref, will be giving him a quiet word about that too.
Look at these guys going toe-to-toe. The fists are flying. 30 to go.
Just as I said that hands are on hips and that could be a sign, he proved me wrong and he has gone to town.
Nice uppercut there from Christian.
Yeah, Michael's getting a great rev up from the Kapiti Wellington contingent here because he boxes out of the Kapiti Boxing Club.
Look at these guys throw down.
Wow.
This is a war. The crowd are on their feet. They're going crazy.
Of course, with that stoppage, our clock's run out, but of course we've probably got about another 5 seconds to go. Make that about 10
I'll
seconds to
happily
go.
have a few more on this one. These boys are going to town, throwing down.
Here we go, there's your 10 seconds.
Let's go. Who wants a small? Who wants to go through to the final?
Listen to that crowd.
Isn't it fantastic? Amateur boxing at its absolute best.
What a fight. The crowd on their feet.
That deserves a round of applause even from our commentary position, and we would be at least, say 50 metres away from the ring, maybe 25, 50 metres, and we could hear some of those punches landing from here.
Yeah, you make a good call though, Lawrence. You make a good call. Whoever is facing the final will be rubbing their hands because they're going to be a little bit worse for wear in that final.
I would be ecstatic if I was fighting one of them in the final. But look at that. They literally went to war for 9 minutes, and as soon as their last bell went, they stood up, looked at each other, touched gloves and said, thanks, mate.
Right, we'll head down to get the judge's decision and cross down to Vinny.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, representing Wellington Hutt Valley, Michael Reynolds.
Well deserved and unanimous, all judges in favour of Michael.
Wow, I would have thought there would have been a little bit more of a mixed bag up there, but being on the Wellington Hutt Valley bandwagon, I'll take that.
You won't be mad about that decision, will you?
Not at all.
And saying that, he went through a war.
Yeah, they, as you say, from the moment that bell went, it was non-stop. I mean, these boys aren't...
There's no halfway.
No.
There's no halfway.
None
It's
at all.
just 0 to 100 from the get-go. And these replays are highlight reels.
As As I say, we're very fortunate, of course, with Sky Sport Next. We've got some of the best camera guys in the business here at the Te Rauparaha Centre. Shout out to our producer, of course, as well, Gavin Service. And Dylan Sheehan from, he's our technical manager. We'll drop down to Vinny and he will announce the boxes for this next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a semi-final bout contested in the light welterweight 64 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Caydan Hope. And in the blue corner, representing Wellington Hutt Valley, David Tuara. Your referee is Greg Weenink.
And of course, David Tuara is actually a local boy, a Parirua Boxing Club. He's had 14 fights, 5 wins, 7 losses. Up against Caydan Hope, who's had 16 bouts, 13 wins, 3 losses, and novice Golden Gloves back in 2019.
This is a 64 kilogram 3-3. Are we going to see fireworks like the last one?
I would say in a word, yes.
Just note too that whoever wins this will go on to face Michael from the previous bout. So be interesting to see who does take this and go through forward to the next fight.
So Lawrence, if you were out the back, would you, if you were one of these two boxers, either David and or Caydan, would you have been watching that bout just to see what you could be up for? Or you'd stay away from it and stay focused?
Nah, I'd stay away.
Interesting. Some people would want to see, but others would just wait until it goes down.
Nah, a little bit of advice I try and give to myself and to my competitors as well is don't worry about what could happen tomorrow, worry about what's in front of you.
Never a truer word spoken.
And saying that, if they were watching the previous fight, they might have got a bit intimidated by who they're facing tomorrow.
Well, you'd definitely be thinking about it because she was a good fight.
Caydan Hope here too, got the reach. Jabs out. He's an orthodox fighter against
David, who's a southpaw.
Southpaw, yeah. Just saw that. I thought he was going to switch, but he's staying. Do that bit of Mayweather shuffle there. Nice combo overhand from David there on the blue.
He's scoring well, isn't he?
He's got a very quick backhand. That left hand he's got from David. He popped it out at the very beginning of the round and he just keeps popping it out.
How do you find it as well, Lawrence, with the southpaw? Do you find it rather difficult?
Actually, I enjoy southpaws quite a bit. I enjoy it.
And what advice do you give, or do you do, without giving away too many secrets when you are facing a southpaw?
That lead foot. That lead foot is pretty key. Getting it outside that front foot.
Do you ever switch up too, as well? Do a switch counter if you are fighting a southpaw, or you just stay orthodox?
I've tried to switch, mate. It's never worked. I feel like I'm got 2 left feet and can't dance.
Speaking of dancing, Taufa yesterday fought southpaw. He looked like he was dancing around the ring, made it very entertaining. Caydan Hope, though, just walking forward. Now, using that reach beautifully. Good to see from a tall-ranging fighter.
I tell you what's fantastic, of course, is the atmosphere that's starting to build here at the arena. With a lot of the boxers, of course, have finished up for this weekend, so the families have driven down, of course.
And look, if it's getting this wild now, we might have to get noise control later in, because they're starting to get wild up in here.
The louder the better. Kicks the adrenaline up for the boxers as well. It keeps them going, and hopefully
you're never too loud.
Well,
never too loud.
No, you're never too loud. We're enjoying bringing you the coverage with Sky Sport Next, with a weekend full of boxing, of course, with the New Zealand 2020 New Zealand Amateur Boxing Championships.
Are you liking what you see here too, Lawrence, from Caydan Hope? He's using that reach, doing everything he can to stop the southpaw.
He's doing very well, mate. His ring craft and his footwork is quite phenomenal. noticed just before David had to get his mouth guard put in, he kept circling him back to the ropes. David was trying to get away, but he kept circling back round to that centre, making sure David's back was up against that rope. So it was quite impressive to see.
Big shot though landed just before the end of the clapper by David, but so far Caydan Hope is dominating this fight.
Yeah, a couple of nice scoring shots in that.
Look at that nice slow-mo, just straight forward, 6-punch combo. Back got clocked there by David in the final seconds. That's a risk too you take when you walk forward and just throw a barrage of punches without bobbing and weaving, right, Lawrence?
Yeah, if you can leave yourself open sometimes, and as you see,
Caydan
round 2 left himself a little open there and collected a right hand straight across the nose.
Different pace here in this fight, but probably a smarter way to box if you're going through to the finals.
Well, that was a nice body shot from Caydan Hope.
Once again, David finding a home for that right.
Good level change.
Using that range beautifully, and David seems to be struggling with those long limbs.
Yeah, he's not liking Caydan's long right hand coming through.
And he seems to be clipping him too on a very regular basis now.
Oh, nice uppercut followed by a right here from Caydan Hope.
I'm noticing that David's hands are starting to drop down a little bit as well.
Beautiful cover. Oh, sorry, follow up there with the up. Wow, a bit of a wild swing there from David Tuara. Going to the body now. Good display of boxing, how he covered up, so he just went straight for the body shots.
Very, very smart.
Well, just as we say, that little cheeky uppercut. See that right hand went over, but he followed up again with a hook, and it landed just on the gloves there of David.
David's supporters are getting very, very vocal in our crowd.
Good uppercut, good left hook.
Nice little sneaky body shot there, but a bit in the nether region for the ref there.
I think David's tiring quite quickly as well, because he's just...
If we keep it this, I think
see his legs,
see the ref step in.
Yeah, could be a count soon.
For a count.
Caydan Hope certainly bringing the heat now, doing everything he can to shut down David Tuara. Low guard too from David. Needs to bring that guard up.
Yeah, I got a funny feeling this referee's going to stop in a couple of seconds and give him a standing 8, just because of the safety concerns. There goes the mouth guard again.
A fair call too from the ref.
Yeah.
Taking too much punishment.
Saw that happening and just in advance, and he's saying, no, you've had enough.
Had enough. Never a good sign when you're leaned over the ropes during an 8 count.
And we keep saying there's nothing New Zealand boxing will not do other than protect the boxers themselves right from the beginning. If they feel that one of the boxers is in a little bit of trouble, they'll give them the standing 8. Or just say, I've had enough.
Kudos to David Tuara though, and you know, he's a warrior, he's a fighter. It takes a lot of guts to get into the ring.
Oh, that is for real. He wants, Caydan actually just said, well not said, on his little notes to us, he said, could you shout out to Whangamata?
Oh, there you go.
To all the folks there, and of course we've got people watching from all over New Zealand, and of course around the world. Following us here on Sky Sport 1, we'll drop down to Vinny.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by referee stopped contest in the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Caydan Hope.
Well, there you have it. Caydan Hope winning via stoppage against Michael there in the final. How good is that one going to be?
It is going to be a very good final, Michael versus Caydan. I think It could be a bit of a show in itself. It's going to be two completely different styles going against each other, but I think it could work very, very well.
Well, that's the beauty of it, right? Two different stylistic matchups. But as we talk about that, geez, what a fight we've got next. Ryan, Scaife and Taufa.
And we'll head down to Vinny, and he'll make the announcement as the boxers are being called to the ring.
The following is a semi-final bout contested in the middleweight 75 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Wellington Hutt Valley, Ryan Scaife. And in the blue corner, representing Shamrock Boxing Association, Taufa Lavemaau.
Now again, we had the pleasure of having Ryan Scaife up with us yesterday.
Your referee is Ina Schuster.
Ryan's a very, very decorated and accomplished boxer. He is third generation?
Yes.
Yes, third generation. I've pretty much grown up with Ryan. I've known him since he was a very young boy.
Well, his experience is 81 wins, 10 losses. He's the Golden Gloves 11-time champion. So as you say, the pedigree of what's behind him is very good, and whether or not Taufa can deal with this with just purely the experience.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm super excited for this. I mean, Ryan has fought around the world, but Taufa yesterday was an absolute wild child in and out. The southpaw made it very difficult winning that split decision, but he's against a very accomplished boxer against Ryan here today.
Yeah, well, his foot movement was absolutely phenomenal yesterday.
Oh, he was just in and out. He was like a jack in the box, so unpredictable, and it's going to be interesting to see how that goes up against such a seasoned boxer as Ryan.
Yeah, of course, one southpaw, one orthodox, Ryan being an orthodox boxer.
Just then too, you saw that wild right just fly out of nowhere.
Yeah, Ryan's got to watch out for that, but look at his ring craft. He is stalking him like there's no tomorrow and just trying to set him up.
I mean, the accolades for Ryan just go on. The list is about 10 lines deep for all the titles and championships he's won.
10 national, 6 age group, 4 senior, Oceania gold medal.
I think he's just showing off there.
Hey, but in saying that, this is why this is a beautiful stylistic matchup. Taufa just moves in and out. He makes it hard for a very accomplished boxer. But let's see if Ryan just shuts it down.
Oh, that was a beautiful right hand.
Just as I said that, he did slightly shut him down, but Taufa moving in and out. Trains at Auckland. A lot of gyms, Zoo Boxing, Louis K9. Here he is today here in Wellington. Certainly got the support too, you know. Definitely the crowd favourite, Ryan.
I'd say so. And of course, he's out of the Heratonga gym, just north of Wellington. As you say, Lawrence, he's actually just backing him up. Keep coming forward. He's not giving him an inch.
No, he's sitting just outside that pocket, so when it's time to go, he can just go.
Yeah. Closing that distance in the ring itself.
Yeah, the thing is, because he is such a seasoned, accomplished boxer, he is actually being able to shut down the fanatic, unpredictable pace of Taufa. Yesterday, Taufa could move in and out at will. He's struggling to do that today.
Yeah, you can really see that that experience of Ryan coming through, and it'll be interesting to see if Taufa can overcome some of that and read some of it later in the rounds.
Don't like the fact that he's got his hands so low when he's actually backing up. I mean, Ryan's quick. He could just come forward and clock him one.
A little bit of a stumble there, but that's the thing with Ryan. He knows his range, he knows his distance, he knows how far he has to be from someone.
Locking Hay holds his left guard out as well to try almost set up and throw off the unpredictable style here of Taufa.
And yeah, what he's trying to do is he's trying to invite him to do something that Ryan wants him to do.
Which is beautiful, right? He's leading him into his own game, whereas Taufa usually likes to play his own game there in the ring.
And that's it. He's that's what the beautiful science of amateur boxing is. It's setting them up. It's making them play your game rather than you play theirs.
for those watching back home. We're seeing a beautiful display of boxing, a southpaw against an orthodox.
And if you think that you've seen it all, you haven't, because we'll be back again at 5 o'clock, and we have a total of 17 bouts on what we will call the evening session, starting at 5. So we'd love you to just refocus your alarm clock on your phone, or however you are going to remember to be switching back to us. And then again tomorrow, we'll be starting at 2 o'clock for our first session, and then again at 5 o'clock through, and these are all the finals coming up.
Exactly. TJF, it's Friday. Get home early, get to the boxing, get in front of the couch and chuck it on. Round 2. Here now, Ryan just shutting down. You know, we're seeing such a different fight from yesterday. Taufa was all over the show. He was pretty much owning the ring. And not owning it today, Ryan is all over him.
Yeah, he is, mate. Did you see just before that break, Taufa was actually backing Ryan into a corner, and as he called break, Ryan skillfully, just as the break was called, worked his way out and stood, so Taufa had his back up against the ropes. Probably
goes to show too, all the experience that Ryan's had. He's probably fought unpredictable southpaws like this. So this ain't his first rodeo.
Nah, definitely not, mate. And when you've been in the game as long as he has, he's trained and sparred with people who are unpredictable inside the gym. So it's nothing unusual for him.
Just on 2 minutes to go in round number 2. Ryan the Lion Scaife from Heratoria here in Wellington.
Crowd going quiet now, but it's an anticipation because this is such a highly skilled fight, and Ryan's doing a beautiful job here to shut down the wild style of Taufa.
Yeah, he's doing quite well, but the other side of it is Taufa does have that elusive, and from what I could see, he could probably have some power behind those swings, so Ryan's got to keep himself aware and on guard, because Taufa could just come out of nowhere and land something that was unexpected.
See, look at that. He moves one way, drops the shoulder, and then launches a punch from the opposite direction, which is, you got to admit, that's super unpredictable.
It's unpredictable, and it's something you almost can't read.
Nice. 1-2 straight down the middle.
It was beautiful, and then notice how he just took a small step back and then came straight back again with the same combo.
Yeah, so look, that worked once, I'll give it a go again, and it certainly worked.
Lovely right hand as well.
Slowly saps the confidence too, because if you've used moves in the past and it's overworn or worked on another fighter and it's not working, you start going through the book of moves in your head, don't you, Lawrence, about what can I do next? Why isn't this working?
And that's it. It's just finding out what works, and once you find something that does work, obviously don't do it all the time because then it becomes a little bit readable, but you just angle yourself off so you can land that move again. It's a good game of chess.
Just a quick stoppage for doing up one of the laces.
If this is a game of chess, are we getting close to checkmate? I think he's still got a few moves. His queen's still alive, but Ryan's closing in. Ryan is closing in and taking out all those players.
Oh, definitely, mate. Those the pawns are definitely disappearing off the board, and the rooks and queen, rooks and bishops are slowly going.
You know your chess.
You know your chess.
Yeah, I had this good primary school teacher, and that was our everyday thing, was chess.
The crowd is starting to warm up, of course, at the end of round number 2.
Hey, we're still seeing smiles from Taufa, and he was smiling all day yesterday. A little bit less of a smile today, but he's still here, and he's going to go through to round 3.
I give Taufa a lot of credit, mate. You jump into the sport, and it's a hard game to be in, but if you want to be the best, you've got to measure yourself against the best, and he is definitely measuring himself and seeing where he measures up against probably one of our best at this division.
Too right. I mean, jumping in there and being able to stand and bang with one of the best and going the distance is an accolade and an achievement in itself.
Oh, definitely, mate. And he's actually holding himself. He's not doing badly at all.
Yeah, it makes it easy for us to commentate, because if it was one-sided, we would be saying it and it would be closed, it would be shut off.
So, of course, 3 minutes on this in round number 3. Of course, this is in the middleweight division, 75 kg. We've got one more in this session. Again, another middleweight coming up next.
Interesting to see too. The great thing about all these fights, or these last 4 fights, is we get to see the division or the winner go off to the next winner. So in the next fight, the winner of that will face the winner of these two.
Yeah, and I think the way that Ryan has been controlling the bout right the way through.
Just said that. See there, Taufa just landed that right hook over the top.
We call it the commentator's curse, Lawrence. It's like you say something and it just gets you every time.
We're talking about Ryan's experience, and he is dominating, but he's certainly not being untouched. You know, he's taking a couple of shots here and there, but nothing to put him in too much trouble, and just goes to show, you know, the brilliance, the sweet science that Ryan's able to display here. A few wild moves again from Taufa, the old Taufa coming back.
There we go. He's just got to express his natural self.
Getting expert commentary from Lawrence Tito, joining us up here at the commentary booth for Sky Sport next. Oh, a couple of beauties from Ryan. He's managed to get one both with right and the left.
Crowd alive again, and everyone watching back home, I'm sure they're loving this fight. We're seeing an absolute beautiful display of boxing.
Well, Ryan is absolutely controlling the ring.
Absolutely is. He's got great conditioning. We're halfway through the 3rd round, and he just, the pace hasn't slowed down.
Good body shot, Ryan. Good body shot.
Certainly got a good sweat on, and not too worse for wear if he is to go through to the final.
Couple of swing and misses.
Good body shot there from Taufa. See how he brought the glove back and then popped it up straight away. That unpredictable style.
Just the way I love these associate members club guys, or, you know, whether from Hutt Valley or from Porirua or from Wellington, they're all getting behind their boxes. It's great.
Almost like a bit of a back fist there. This is an MMA.
No.
See, before that though, he did a double right hook. How unorthodox is that? A double right hook.
Now you don't see it too often.
Oh. This is payback for that back fist.
Yeah. That might have upset Ryan a little bit.
Oh, Ryan dominating there just at the end. Don't think it was on purpose though, it's just his wild style.
Yeah.
He finished round number 3 well out.
What a fight. I mean, you know, I love the unpredictable style there of Taufa. Ryan, what a display of boxing.
Oh, it's beautiful. Look at him, mate. He looks like he can go another 3 rounds straight away.
And of course, with this one that you've been watching, our next bout coming up is also a middleweight, so we know that Ryan Scaife has got through. We'll go down to Vinny for the judges' results.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, representing Wellington Hutt Valley,
There you have it, and I'm
Ryan
sure all
Scaife.
those watching back at home would agree. Ryan Scaife, what a fight, what a boxer. Looking forward to seeing him in the final.
Oh, mate, he's going to be exceptional. It proves what you can achieve starting this sport young. Like, I remember Ryan jumping in the ring when he was 8 years old, and what's he now? He's in his mid to late 20s, and he's in a very accomplished, well-rounded boxer.
If it's not a rude question, Lawrence, what age did you start? First club?
I started, I was in boxing. My dad put me in boxing when I was about 6 years old, so I'm 35 in a couple of weeks.
Are you implying you want a cake?
I'm actually not allowed one. I'm actually trying to cut weight, so I'd love a cake, banana one and chocolate icing if you got it.
So no Christmas cake or ham for you over Christmas time as well?
Oh, I'll be honest, it was a little bit hard over Christmas, and I might have faltered a couple of times.
No, we'll cover that one off later. Let's go down to Vinny and announce the boxers coming in.
The following is a semi-final bout contested in the middleweight 75 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Kirikiriroa Boxing Association, Colton Seymour-Moir. And in the blue corner, representing Manawatu Boxing Association, Emile Richardson.
So remembering, you just watched the previous bout, you would have seen Ryan Scaife got through. So
Jack Tutuvanu.
One of these two boxers is going to be walking in tomorrow in the finals up against Ryan Scaife.
Who's going to be Colton there in the red, or the real deal, Emile Richardson?
Now, Colton boxed yesterday, I think it was yesterday, and he was quick on his feet. He was moving really, really well. Looks like there might be a slight height advantage, but not by much.
I've had the privilege of only a few weeks ago sharing the ring with a young Emile in the blue corner from Manawatu.
And how was that?
He's quick, mate, and he's got some good power in that jab.
Well, he's a two-time North Island Gold Glove champ, and he's fought around the world, you know, Poland, Spain, Thailand. Let's see how he goes tonight against Colton. 2018 Oceania Youth champ. Well, semi-finalist, sorry, in Samoa. Bit of a slower, more measured start too from both these boys. But that's not to say it's not going to warm up later in the rounds.
No, definitely not. Both two very accomplished fighters.
And you can tell too, look at the way Emile just holds himself. That hook just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's very explosive with those hands. They definitely appear out of nowhere. Look at that, that was quick. That snapped young Colton's head back up a little bit.
Short jabs too, quick jabs from Emile. But Colton doing a great job too to get in and out, not too shabby himself.
On your toes now.
You get the coverage we're providing to you with Sky Sport next. We will be back again at 5 o'clock, so just to make sure you put that into your phone alarm or however you're going to remember.
Race home from work, start early, work from home and chuck it on. 5 p.m. it all kicks off again. Lawrence, when you were sparring Emile, what was it like? I mean, and how low will you go? 75 still 15, 20 kegs off your weight. What's the lowest you'll go in sparring?
That'll probably be about it. For me, it was more just trying to get Emile fit and ready, because it took a little bit of time off, yeah, so we were just trying to get him ready for nationals and make sure everything was firing on all cylinders. So, but no, for me personally, but at the same time, I'm dropping weight, so I'm sitting about 90 kilos at the moment. With
him too being 75, do you say go full power or not? Because if he does, some of those shots would be pretty tough.
Yeah, it's someone like him. When they jump in with the bigger boys, they tend to, for some reason, get a little bit quicker, and their footwork getting around us is pretty sharp. So he's quite a hard character to catch.
Yeah, out of everything I've seen too, and all the boxes, he's one of the quickest I've seen out here. You know, his jabs just come in and back as quick as they came out, and that right hook just comes out of nowhere, just launches like lightning.
Yeah, it's I found it really hard to read. It was 1 minute we weren't doing much, and then all of a sudden my head's snapping back, and I'm looking at my lip going, what the hell's happening here? But no, he's fairly quick. And he's got some good tutelage there in the corner, obviously with Billy Mann and his coach. So, yeah, he's pretty good.
So he's had 2 Golden Glove championships, an Australasian Super 8 champion.
I'm saying that, you know, we're talking about Emile's speed. Colton isn't going nowhere, and it's not like Emile's all over him. He's holding his own, so it just goes to show too the timing and speed and skill set of Colton.
Oh, definitely, mate. Like, I'd be hard pressed to call that round and say who definitively won that. So, yeah, I'm sitting on the fence on who took that round.
Flip a coin, you say?
No.
Bring out that 50-cent coin?
Oh, yeah, could be. But because I've done a little bit of work and potentially I've been under Billy's tutelage as well, he'd hate for me to say that I'd give the round to Colton.
At least you're honest on that.
You know, it's quite good to be able to call early who's going to go through to the final, but we couldn't say so far.
Nah, definitely not, mate.
He just scored a lovely right hand into Colton's noggin, telling both boxers to keep their heads up.
Well, their first 10 seconds, they've definitely picked up the pace a little bit.
Right.
Both boys too. Similar respective styles, you know. We're seeing all sorts of matchups, but once again, these boys are quite conservative, quick, sharp, and clean with their boxing here today.
Yeah, and I think their styles are very, very similar. Unlike the previous bout where you saw that Ryan was, you know, definitely the more experienced and technical, but these boys both seem to have the ring knowledge. They know what they've got to be doing. So I think whoever wins this is going to have a bit of fun sort of taking on Ryan Scaife.
Yeah, you know, they're very controlled, very measured. It's good to watch because it's just going to show the array of skills that is on here at the Nationals.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say that these three boys, well, these two in the ring and Ryan have all met each other before, so I'd say they'll know a little bit about each other and what they've got to do and what not to do.
Emile, the real deal, against Colton there in the red. Let's see if he can live up to that name and go through to the finals. Colton not making it easy for him at all in a well-matched and contested fight.
And we're fortunate, of course, we've got Ormsby with us as well, giving us expert analysis of what's going on here at the final, or the build-up to the middle.
You always
75 kg.
This not only the experience, but you've been in there with them, so you can actually, you know, first-hand experience there, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Better you than me, mate. Better you than me.
He's trying to stay centred.
Well, you know,
I really am trying to stand on the fence. I really want to yell out for Emile, but
you can't do that.
But
in here.
no, I can't. But Colton he's. I'll be honest, he's actually really, really impressing me.
Only me can hear you say that.
He'd be right.
No, but that's true. You know, we're looking at this fight for how it is, impartially as possible. Emile is speedy, he's quick, but Colton is countering that. You know, it's just go to show his timing and speed as well.
Yeah, and that's it. It just comes down to timing, and if you can pick it, it works really well. And he's proven himself a very, very worthy opponent in there. And I'd call this pretty even.
10-second clapper. Judges are certainly singing for their supper in this one.
Yeah, Emile being told just watch where you're putting that hand. No slapping.
But still, really clean fight. Great skills shown from both boxers. Looking forward to seeing the third and final.
With the coverage brought to you by Sky Sport Next. I'm Brent Perry, and of course joining me is Isaac Savage, and we've been blessed to have a number of New Zealand's top boxers coming up and joining us. At the moment we've got Lawrence Tita with us, and we've got a massive night coming up, of course, starting at 5 o'clock tonight. We've got 17 bouts to go, and then of course tomorrow is the finals. So if you've got a piece of paper handy, write these times down. So we're starting again at 5 o'clock this evening, and tomorrow we'll be starting at 2 o'clock. And again, we'll be kicking off at 5.
Out, round 3.
So this is the final. Emile Richardson up against Colton Seymour-Moir.
Colton in the red, Emile in the blue, the real deal. What do you think Minchin said to him, Lawrence, between those rounds?
Oh, Billy's pretty professional in this either, so he would have just let him know what he needs to do, what he doesn't need to do, and just stay focused and stay on task. They would have had a game plan at the start of this, so we just tell him to keep to that game plan and work.
Well, you know, that's pretty good, because sometimes when we put the mic in the corners, we have to bleep out what's happening. But as we go now, 30 seconds in, who can call how this is going to go? I really don't know who's going to go through to the final. It really depends on who wins this last round.
I think this fight is 100% all dependent on this last round and who can dominate themselves and make a name out of it.
Little body shot there from Colton.
Probably a number of people viewing this on Sky Sport Next who's sitting there scratching their head saying, oh.
I agree with you, Ben. It would be a really hard one to judge. I mean, Emile, he's got the speed, but Colton seemed to counter every shot as well. And I haven't been counting the punches, but they do have counters down there, so it'll be interesting to see those stats at the end of this one.
Referee is saying and laying down the rules, I'm the boss in this. When I tell you to break, break.
Oh, good shots there from Colton.
2 very clean shots there from Colton.
All judges staring intently as well. You can tell that this is a hard one for them.
He's going to say, yeah, is he taking a point away?
Did he just take a point away?
Looked like it.
This could sway the fight.
They're both out. I think it could potentially be a warning, or he's taking a point off both of them.
Yeah, well, he brought both over to the judges.
Yeah, but if it's a point off both.
Yeah. So maybe it was just a warning.
And I tell you to break.
But I'm saying that. A little bit of a growling wound them up.
Bit of a rest, a bit more juice has gone into the battery as they get ready now for the last 30. Nice left hook there from Emile.
Of course, this is going to put them into the finals. One of these boxers is going through tomorrow to take on Ryan Scaife in the middleweight divisions here at the 2020 National Amateur Boxing Association Championships.
What a display of boxing too. You know, what I love about this fight, it's so much more measured and technical compared to some of the fights we've seen. Every fight has been technical, but these guys have put on a true display of boxing.
Right, definitely. And sometimes it just comes with a little bit of experience. Like what we've seen over the last couple of days is some young kids that haven't been in it long, but these two boys, they've been here a long time. And they've picked up skills and picked up tricks.
So they get their final 10 seconds of round number 3. Emile came through with a couple of lovely overhead right.
That clapper was like the go button for Emile.
Exactly, I was just about to say that, Lawrence. The clapper matched the hit as we go now to the end of round 3.
But I've opened up my wallet and I've just found a 20-cent piece.
We'll take it, Lawrence, we'll take it.
You're going to flip it.
And just while we wait for the...
I won't flip it because I think Bill might still tell me off if it goes forward the wrong way.
So yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic bout, and as I say, we'll head down to Vinny. I think we'll go split, but it'll go...
Who's going to be, Real Deal or Colton?
No, I think Colton. No. Right, we'll head down to our ring announcer, Vinny.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision in the blue corner, representing Manawatu Boxing Association,
through to the final against
Richardson.
Ryan Scaife. What a final it's going to be.
That was the final bout for this session, ladies and gentlemen. Can I ask you to continue applauding for all the amazing fighters we've seen in this section?
You can see at this final part, we're just getting the replays now of
We'll see you in a couple hours.
It must have been close.
Can I ask for your attention for 1 minute?
It was close.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have to do it.
I should have bet on that one. Would have been another cup of tea.
So, of course, you've just watched the first session here for the National Championships in Porirua, just north of Wellington at the Tuara Arena. And we've had, of course, Lawrence Teta with us. You enjoyed the morning's session so far? Can't wait for tonight?
No, it's been a very good morning. Yeah, this evening's session's going to be great. Finals on tonight. We've got cadets and juniors competing on tonight, mate. It's going to be a fantastic finals night.
Brilliant. And, of course, Isaac has been with me all the way through this, Isaac.
Oh, it's been amazing. If this isn't even to go by, I can't imagine what tonight's going to be like. So tune in at 5 o'clock.
Yep, make sure you do. We'll be back at 5 o'clock on behalf of Isaac Savage, myself, Brent Perry, and, of course, Sky Sport Next. We'll see you at 5 o'clock.